Hello, housemates, and welcome back to Planescape Torment on the River Lethe. We have not been in this game in quite some time. It's been a couple weeks since I've played it. Been doing some Skyrim stuff and other things, so I have to get myself reoriented a little bit. So, we're in the Dead Nations. We're down here looking for some kind of bronze orby thing. Let's see. Give Hargrim a reason to remove Soigo from the Dead Nations. Okay. Discover the weaknesses of the Silent King from many as one. So what we wanted to do is see if Stale Mary would give us a way into the Silent King's parlor.
I'm gone.
We had cast the friend spell. It's supposed to be triggered by having enough charisma. The dialogue option to go in there. Because there's a portal that you can ask her to open up around here somewhere. But it didn't work for some reason, if I recall correctly. Wonder if they made it that you have to do base charisma rather than adjusted charisma. Let's get another instance of friends in so we can try it twice. We're gonna have to go rest at Soigo's. Did we do... There's a riddling skeleton around here somewhere. Oh, okay. I think we already did do that.
Done.
There's Hargrim.
All right.
There we go. We need to rest. Alright, we got our 8 hours of rest. Now, let's go see if we can't get Stale Mary to give up the goods. Tell us where the portal is, woman.
Done.
Is it the merchant down here?
All right.
I can't remember.
Done.
The skeleton merchant who whistles somehow. How does the skeleton whistle? He's doing it right now. You need, like, lips and stuff to do that. Alright, let's see here. Spells. Alright, I want to cast spell. I had some questions. Mary, I need to speak with the Silent King. Can you help me? Why? I need to leave this place, Mary. I've so much to do, and to be imprisoned here simply for stumbling upon the Dead Nations, it isn't right. Please, I ask only for a modicum of compassion. Can you help me? Stale Mary is quiet for a time, then nods. She points to the first of 3 portals along the northern wall. Close eyes. Think of Silent King. Walk through the northwest alcove, but only so long as I live. Thanks, Mary. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
So the reason to do this, if you want to get in to see the Silent King, either you bust your way in. So have I shown you the entryway to the Silent King's room? No, I haven't. So you can bust your way in which case you have to fight these 2 royal guards, and then everything else here will automatically go hostile. Or you can charm Stale Mary into telling you about a portal. This ghoul's face has a great gash across it, and one of its eyes has been destroyed entirely. Despite the relative freshness of the wound, it seems to cause the foul-smelling creature no pain or discomfort. You notice a grimy knife tucked into its waist belt. The letters Uhir are carved into its handle. So remember, we're looking for Uhir's knife. He stabbed it into a ghoul and then ran away. He's up in the buried village. Could I have that knife you've got tucked into your belt? The ghoul looks down at the knife, scratching its head as if wondering how it got there. Finally, it looks up and gives you a sly, toothy grin. Meat want knife? Meat make trade. Yes. How about these rat tails? Yes! Yes! The ghoul snatches them away greedily and devours them. After licking his clawed fingers clean, he tosses you Uhir's knife. Thanks. Farewell. That was easy enough. Alright, so now we can go through the portal.
All right. Done.
I think is it this one? She said third. There we go. This alcove extends only a few feet into the north wall before coming to an abrupt end. It was here that Stale Mary told you to close your eyes and think of the Silent King. Close your eyes, think of the Silent King. Oh, Mary, do you do that a lot yourself? Before stepping inside, as long as she is still alive, it should activate a portal to the Silent King's room. All right. Lean back and think of the Silent King. Oh, yeah. And so this activates a little in-game cinematic. There's Stale Mary. Stop this heresy! Do not approach the Silent King. Fucking Hargrim is flying. So, thou have come. The skeleton turns to gaze upon the massive throne. What thou see here is the end of our culture. Is that the Silent King? Yes. None must know that the king speaks only silence. Wouldn't they know that already? Why does he not speak? He is silent because he has left this place. He abandoned us for the true death, and left only this husk in his place. How long has this gone on? Long. Hargrim stares off into the shadows. He stopped speaking to us long ago. He himself has left for the thrice-damned true death. A trace of rage and despair trickles into its voice. He abandoned us here to suffer amongst the living. We have become the prey of all that lives. Well, then who really rules? Mary and I speak to the Silent King. We rule in his stead. Why don't you tell your people the truth? I wish to preserve what we have created. I do not wish to die. Stale Mary speaks, her voice ponderous. Nor I. If our own people were to learn of this, or Akaste were to discover this deception, or many as one, the hive mind of the cranium rats, all that we have created here would be destroyed. This husk is all that keeps the inner and outer enemies at bay. If the truth were spoken, our small civilization would become dust. Go on. I cannot force thee to be silent, but I would ask thee to look beyond thyself, to consider what would happen if thou spoke of what thou hast seen here. So there's a couple of things you can do. As usual, you can genuinely promise or falsely promise to do something. That is, to not say anything. This, again, has an effect only on your alignment. Offering a true vow makes you lawful. Offering a false vow makes you chaotic. If you offer a true vow and then go speak to many as one and tell many as one the truth, despite having vowed not to, you become very chaotic. You can ask about placing a new king upon the throne. Let's do that. The king... Why don't you place a new king upon the throne? The king must be alive when he sits upon the throne. It will accept no other. Once a person sits upon the throne, Hargrim's tone becomes even more ominous. He may not leave it. What about Soigo? Soigo would not make a good king. He is too much in love with his own voice to remain silent. Such a position on the throne would also rob him of the true death. That would be as blasphemous as attempting to rob us of the life that we possess. You can offer to become king. Don't do that. Essentially, if you do it, if you sit on the throne, the game is over, right? You will get this like little cinematic, and maybe there's a little paragraph story with it, but the game ends because you sit on the throne forever, not dying because you can't die, you know. Sure, you can do that if you want to end the game immediately, but it's not really a viable option. If you insist that the people should be told, you will have to fight Hargrim, the guards in here, and Stale Mary, and then everything outside will become hostile to you, which is an option if you don't feel like lying. You can also promise not to tell. You can tell many as one. You can tell Akaste. If you tell Akaste, she will kill everyone here, and then also the ghouls will spill out into the buried village and kill everyone there as well. That's you get lots of chaotic points and lots of evil points for doing that. Not particularly recommended. In order to get like the most XP and whatnot, what you really need to do is offer either a vow or a false promise, and then tell many as one anyway. You know, it's sort of shitty, and it won't work if you want to do like being a good guy playthrough. But we're not really doing that. So, we're going to offer a false promise. I wish only to leave Hargrim. Grant me this, and you shall have my silence. Hargrim is silent for a moment. Thou may leave this place. Go now, and I beg of thee, honor thy word. Thanks. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
I have become stronger.
All right. God, those skeletons make a terrifying noise. I don't remember any of the buttons anymore. Not character. Okay. Oops, that was a quick save. That's not what I wanted to do. Ah, damn it.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
No. Character, statistics screen, whatever. Alright, Dakon has gone up. No one else is leveled up. And so now, if you do want to fight Hargrim, he's pretty tough. He's a spellcaster, he's a priest, so he can call lightning on you and do like a spiritual hammer or something. It's pretty ugly. The royal guards aren't that bad, Stale Mary isn't that bad, but Hargrim is pretty nasty. So we've gotten our way out of here. We have this ability that we got from Stale Mary, Stories Bones Tell, which is very helpful, and we don't need it, but it helps to get the decanter of endless water. So we're going to go back out into the Weeping Catacombs in a minute. First, we can still do this thing for Hargrim about getting rid of Soigo, I believe. Oh, maybe we can't. Nope. So, the alternative way to get out of here without seeing the Silent King at all is you do those 2 tasks for Hargrim, and then he, quote-unquote, consults the Silent King, and then it is deemed that you are allowed to leave. Obviously, you don't get the information you need if you do it that way. I don't think after you do that, you can have that conversation option with Stale Mary to get the portal out. There might be a way of doing things in a particular order in which you can get all of that done, but I'm not too worried about it. This rotting female corpse is shaking her head and moaning sadly. As you approach, however, she turns and holds her hands out to you as if asking for aid. Greetings. The zombie moans softly in reply. Only your skills in conversing with the dead allow you to understand her. Name. My name. No, I don't know your name. Is that why you're so distressed? Forgot my name. My name. Her milky eyes well with a black, roomy substance. A corpse's only tears. Why don't you just choose a new name? She stands there, watching you silently. Did you understand? You can choose a new name. She shakes her head, backing away as if frightened. But no. Can't you see how you've changed? Would your true name fit you any longer? She pauses, putting her hands to her cheeks. The corpse bites her lower lip. Yes, see? You can let your old name go now. Become something new. But who? What name? She appears confused, overwhelmed. Anything you like. Anything. She stands quietly for a time, staring at the floor. Suddenly, she raises her head. You. Name me? You can think of a name for her.
Updated my journal.
You think of a name, but before you can speak it, the zombie hushes you. Drawing you close, cupping a hand over her ear, you whisper the name to her. The corpse nods, then smiles. Yes. Thank you. Of course. Farewell.
Looks like my skills.
And Morday leveled up. So you can do it that way. You can also, there's a crypt where you can go and find her name, her like true name, and tell her that instead. I always just, because, you know, you can do it right here. I think if you have sufficient intelligence, charisma, I can't remember, you can just come up with a name. It's obviously easier to do it that way, more efficient. Still want to find, there we go, statistics. That's the S button. All right, Morte has gone up a level. I think we've done everything we're going to do here.
I'm gone.
We're not going to tell Akaste. We're not going to tell Soigo.
All right.
We are, however, going to go down here into the drowned
All right.
catacombs. Something like that. Actually, no, wait. We want to go... That's right.
I'm gone.
We want to go first into the Weeping Catacombs.
I'm gone.
Use our ability. Alright, so I think it's this dude. This dude. Yeah, here we go. This sandy-haired collector's corpse is covered with nasty bites. The dead man's neck still writhes as if it were trying to twist itself off his body. He speaks with an effort. Hey! I'm Chad. I need your help. What's wrong with you? Other than being dead, apparently. See this neck? It's stretching like taffy and contracting. Damn Vargoyle bit me. I'm dead and I need to hold onto my head if I don't want to be one of those damnable things. He's speaking with an effort. You gotta kill the Vargoyles down this passage. All of them. To save me from that. What will you give me for that? In return, I'll give you directions to a powerful magical item. Dead Sight tells me you might need it. What is it? Find it, and then I'll tell you, not before. Fine, I'm gone. So we gotta go kill some Vargoyles for Chad.
Done.
Vargoyles are those flying head doodads that we've been facing. Where is this particular group?
I'm gone.
They're over here somewhere. There we go. So they're not so bad to fight. You can see they went down with a couple hits. We gotta kill all these little buggers. Alright, so now that we have stories Bones tell, there's a bunch of dead bodies, not just in this area that we can talk to. It's a recurring, useful ability that we'll
All right.
need for quite a few different quests. Well, not need, we can use them. You notice Chad's neck is better now. It It is no longer bulging out as if it wanted to separate from the torso. Thanks, friend. At least now I know I ain't gonna be a Vargoyle for eternity. You want your reward now? Tell me. Alright, here's what it is. There's a reason the drowned nations are called that. There's a magic bottle that never stops its flow, a decanter, hidden in the drowned nation's catacombs. You get that, and you'll get all the fresh water you ever need. Alright, where is it? You sneak past either the Deaders or the Rats into the drowned nations. Once you've made it there, you can head down the main passageway, 3 doors on your left. You'll pass under an arch, and then you take the first door on your left. It's in the arch closest to the back wall. I don't know the command word, but it still trickles some drops out for you. You got all that, friend? I think so. I had some other questions, though. Aw, come on. What do you want? Tell me about yourself. Me? I'm Chad. Used to be an artist. Money, fame, respect, women, and then it all fell apart. I joined up with Farrad and his crew, and became one of the best catacomb crawlers in the bunch. I could lift something from under the nose of a ghoul queen herself. Yeah. Then I got cocky, and I got designs on one of the stone keeps, too. That's what I call the serious catacombs down here, and I turned it to Vargoyle food. Nearly became a Vargoyle myself. Held on to my own head here by the force of will alone. Good thing you came along. Alright, good thing indeed. Farewell.
I feel stronger.
Now I've leveled up. Exciting. Let's see. I gained an intelligence from a specialization bonus. That must mean I hit level 7. Nice. I gained a characteristic point in addition to that. So now my intelligence is 20. We're going to pop my wisdom up to 20 as well. My wisdom surpasses that of mortal men. I gain a substantial bonus to all experience points. My intelligence also surpasses that of mortal men. There's no limit to the amount of spells I can put in my spell book. Well, I mean, I'm not mortal, so that's to be expected, I think. Alright. Intelligence permanently increased. So let's see if we can finish up with this stupid Zerthamon circle. Now that we have 20 and 20. God damn it. I'm pretty sure... Oh wait, maybe... No, maybe I have to talk to Dakon. Maybe I didn't understand...
What is your
one
will?
of the 7th one. There are things I would know, Dakon. I will hear you. Can we talk about your teachings? Dakon waits. I have read The Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. I want to speak more about the way of Zerthamon. What did you come to know? There was a 7th circle within the Stone of Zerthamon. It spoke of the building of the rebellion against the Illithids. Dakon falls silent. Then he says something? Okay, that's not falling silent. What does this 7th circle speak of? It speaks of time as an ally, not as an enemy. It says that patience can sharpen even the smallest of efforts into a weapon that can strike the heart of an empire. Your victories may be small, but over time, a greater victory may be achieved. Dakon is silent for a moment. Will you make this circle known to me? Take the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon and unlock the 7th circle.
I couldn't carry anymore, so I had to drop it.
As you take the circle and twist the links, 2 plates slide from the interior and into your hands. You have no idea where they came from, but the Unbroken Circle still seems intact. The 7th circle remains. Dakon watches you silently. There are 2 plates here. Perhaps we should both study them, you and I. Dakon is silent for a moment. There is much you have come to know of the circle, and your knowing carries a greater weight than mine. Dakon matches your gaze. Know that your path is mine, and it shall come to pass that as you knew the way of Zerthamon from me, I shall know the way of Zerthamon from you. Very well, Dakon. Let's move on. Yeah, the student has become the master. So you each get a plate, which gives you a spell, which copies
It's in my spell book.
Patience, which is a weird spell.
Done.
I need to pick this one up off the ground here. Hey, hey.
I'm gone.
And we give this one to Dakon, so that he can learn the spell.
Spell has been added to my teachings.
All right, now there should be an 8th circle. Examine the plates and see if you can puzzle out any new combinations. As you examine the rings of the 7th of the circles of Zerthmon, you suddenly become aware of a pattern in the way the links are formed. You hook your fingers into the sides of the circle and unlock a hidden segment, pulling the plate forth so you can study it. Read the symbols. Know that a mind divided divides the man. The will and the hand must be as one. In knowing the self, one becomes strong. Know that if you know a course of action to be true in your heart, do not betray it because the path leads to hardship. Know that without suffering, the rising would have never been, and the people would have never come to know themselves. Know that there is nothing in all the worlds that can stand against unity. When all know a single purpose, when all hands are guided by one will, and all act with the same intent, the planes themselves may be moved. A divided mind is one that does not know itself. When it is divided, it cleaves the body in two. When one has a single purpose, the body is strengthened. In knowing the self, grow strong. All right, Dakon, I got some sage advice for you.
What is your will?
There was an 8th circle within the Stone of Zerthmon. It spoke of division of the mind and the importance of focus. Dakon falls silent. When he speaks again, his tone is quiet, almost reverent. What does this 8th circle speak of? It speaks of focus and discipline, about how not knowing oneself can physically divide the man. It also speaks of the weaknesses that division causes. It seems to me that it tells one not to only know themselves and to take strength from that, but that your focus can reveal weaknesses in your enemies. Dakon is silent for a moment. Will you make this circle known to me? Take it and unlock the 8th circle.
I couldn't carry anymore, so I had to drop
I got
it.
20,000 XP right there. It's ridiculous. So cleaving through the unbroken circle of Zerthmon gives you a ridiculous amount of XP, especially if you've got high wisdom. And you have to have high wisdom to get all the way to the end. But having it to begin with obviously amplifies the effect. 2 plates fall out, as last time. There are 2 plates here. We should both study them, you and I. I think when you know the 8th circle, perhaps then you will know Zerthmon's heart when he made the pronouncement of 2 skies. His words were not those of the Illithids, but of the people. Dakon stares at the plates, his eyes flickering over the geometries upon them, then looks up and matches your gaze. His blade bends, shifts until the shimmering you noticed before has become a silver glow. He seems stronger somehow.
In knowing the teachings of
So his
Zerthmon,
strength
I
and
have
dexterity
become
and
stronger.
constitution just increased by 1, 2, and 2 respectively. So this is basically completing his companion quest. It sort of jacks him up big time in terms of power. Know that when death comes for you, know that I shall meet its blade with mine. Know that when all dies around you, know I shall live for your sake. When we die, Dakon, it shall be the same death. It shall be the pronouncement of 2 deaths as one. That's pretty dramatic.
Updated my journal.
All right, dudes, get a room. So, we got some XP, we got a new spell. So this is, what level spell is this? Doesn't it tell me somewhere? Maybe not. I think it's like 4th level, maybe 5th level. Whatever.
It's in my spell book.
And we have to make sure to pick up the other copy. No.
All right.
for Dakon.
Spell has been added to my teachings.
All right, so we finally finished
gone.
reading The Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon.
Done.
So now that we have stories, bones tell, we can finish up going to the rest of these tombs that are around here. There's a couple of them.
Done.
We can also go to the drowned dead category. What? I guess I didn't do this. Oh, maybe I did do this, but then I undid it for some reason. Whatever. As you pass one of the twisted stone faces on the wall, it calls out to you in a creaking voice that sounds like the shifting of boulders. Immortal, regard me. I am Glyve. I would have words with you. How do you know I'm immortal? I see a burning purpose within your shell. I see many things in the falling dust of these tunnels. You lack something essential, and that keeps you from death's sweet embrace. What did you want to say to me? Listen, this place holds much danger for you. Treachery awaits you on the surface, and your way is long and winding. At the end, you will find what you have sought, but you may not want it then. Are you some sort of oracle? Oracle? No, I observe. That is all. In that case, perhaps you can answer some questions that I had. What did you want to know? Tell me of yourself. How did you come to be in this situation? I was once a respected leader of my community in the lower ward. A petty lord sought to increase his power at the expense of my people, my friends, my relatives, and friends and I spoke against him. I feel like I should read this dude as William Shatner. And then what? And then he captured us, one by one, and bound our spirits and senses into these screaming faces, under the ditch, where all filth and sigil eventually comes. And then he let the polluted waters above flow through our mouths and noses and eyes. It doesn't work quite as well as I thought it was going to. Is there anything I can do to help, Sewer Face? I am cursed to remain here until fresh water passes my lips. There is a magical flask of water in the drowned nations. Bring it to me and give me a taste of it, and I shall tell you of someone who can help you unlock its full potential, and you shall never lack for water again. So we already know where this flask is.
Updated my journal.
Yeah, he's going to tell us to go find Chad, whom we've already found. He's going to tell us some stuff about the people that we already know here. Alright, thanks, dude.
I'm gone. All right.
In the meantime, we are here at... No. We are here at... Oh, fine, don't tell me the name of the crypt. Is this the Crypt of Dismemberment? No, this is the Mosaic Crypt. So there's some, like, traps around here somewhere. Mostly what you're here for is what's in this thing.
Locked. Failed. Failed.
I shall serve. Opened. I shall serve.
Alright, so basically you just don't want to jump down into the middle there. So you unlock this and you get some commons and a sledgehammer, or some gold and a sledgehammer.
What's up?
That's basically all that's here. If you're a rogue, a thief, you can disarm the traps that are in there for a little bit of XP. Some more crypts up here. Ah! Gargoyles. I don't really bother using spells on, you know, random mobs like this. Save it for more dangerous critters, and we will be encountering some more dangerous critters in the near future. Alright, so more crypts here. I think these are two separate crypts. This is the Crypt of Dismemberment. So, the advice that I have is take Morte across on his own. Because there's just like a shit ton of traps. You can open this up. There's a leg bone club and a skull. And then what you do is select him so that the other people, you can all get down here without running across the blade storm. Die. Die, rats. Those fucking rats run away? Lame. Hey, come here. Whatever.
All right.
Okay, so the reason to come down here is this. A severed arm. You know, because everyone wants to carry one of those around. Do some consolidation here. Pick up this arm. It's an enchanted arm of crushing. You get new tattoos, and it's your severed arm. It's a severed arm yours. So we found one of our old bodies, basically, is what you've learned here, and we just took its arm away. Now, there is a story bones tell opportunity around here somewhere. Yeah, so in this restoration mod, it's much easier to find. In the base version of the game, it's like you could click all over here until the end of time, and you might not find it. But luckily we have. This body has been horribly mangled. It looks like it's been burned, stabbed, sliced, bludgeoned, and forced through a grate. It's in two halves, lying in a crusted pool of old blood. The voice that emerges from it, though, is practically jovial. There's a tinge of maddened glee to it. Hi, Burke. What are you wanting? The answers to some questions? Mayhap I'll tell you. Mayhap I won't. Ask your questions. Who are you? Loadin', eh? Me and Bert, sometimes Griss, though he were nuttin' but a bossy piker, and he was with us the last time. Well, we was kings of the catacombs. Don't know where Bert is. Probably dead. What happened to you? Made a wrong turn. We was running away when we dumped Griss. Bolted in here, and before I realized my mistake, got diced up and sliced up 20 ways to peek. Got my pieces shoved down the grate, and, now not even the Dusties will pay for this lot. He lets out a wet chuckle that smells like swamp gas. What happened to Griss? Story of its own. Mostly my idea it was, and it came off alright at first. Bert didn't have no clue what I was doing. Did some looking around, found where a ghoul had made its home, and then thought we'd take old Griss down there. Turns out the ghoul made more ghouls, and then they nearly had us. Shoved Griss inside and took off like the lady herself was after us. Betting Griss is dead. Probably. I had some other questions for you. Mayhap I'll tell you. Mayhap I won't. I don't think he has anything more interesting to say. Blah, blah, blah. Bye-bye. So that's all that's down here. Your own arm off of a corpse. Apparently your body got, jammed through the Crypt of Dismemberment at some point. No, stop it. Oh, God. No. It's really hard to do the movement thing the way this restoration mod did the resolution. Okay, here we go. So, that's... Wait, is that a different door?
I'm gone.
Go back. I can't remember what this door does. Oh, that's not actually a door to anything. Okay, so there's a couple minor crypts around here, and we're going to deal with those, and then we're going to end the episode. We'll do the Weeping Stone, the Drowned Nations on their own.
Done.
So that's the way into the
All right.
Warrens of Thought. Here, so this is actually going to be a sort of unpleasant fight. This is the tomb that they were just talking about with, about Gris, where they left him.
Yeah.
So we walk here, and ta-da! Ghouls. They hit pretty hard. And they're pretty tough. They attack super fast, as you can see. So focus them down. Don't try and, like, to do a 3-on-3. Do 3-on-1 3 times instead. And we're pretty high level. You can see they drop some gold, scroll of identify.
I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave it behind.
I'm gone.
Now let me loot this pile.
All right.
Dagger, that's gonna be a bone dagger when we identify it. And so now we open this. And here is Gris. This is the corpse of a man with a surprised look on his beak-nosed face. It's hard to tell how he died, whether from the numerous horrific slashing wounds across his abdomen or throat, or from blood loss incurred when his right arm was nearly severed from his shoulder. As the corpse replies to you, its voice rattles in its throat. No, beast, must run. Why do I feel so numb? Am I drunk? Can't feel my hands and my legs? What? Last thing I remember is being pushed in here. The boy's being slashed by some big piking thing. What are you talking about? Who in the 9 hells are you? Show yourself. By the hairy ass of Pan himself. I'm dead, ain't I? I'm afraid so. Can you answer some questions for me? Always knew it'd come down to this. Tell me, Cutter, am I still in the catacombs? Yes. The corpse's voice is bitter. Figures. It does. Do them a good turn and they'll do nothing for you. Right. I just wanted to ask some questions. The corpse lets loose a gusty sigh. What did you want to know, Burke? What happened to you anyway? We and me boys had just popped in this crypt. It was harder than picking a chastity belt, I'm telling you. After tearing and prying at the door for at least past eternity, got in here and we were looking at opening the main crypt when me blood started shouting and this thing slashes me and dumps me into this crypt. I'm fighting it and I hear them start running, me bloods. What happened to them, eh? Where be Bert, Loudon? They make it out of here? Or are they in the dead book? Truth. Oh, they're dead. Aye, good. Hate to think they'd got away clean and left me down here for dead. I had some other questions. Tell me about yourself. Gris the Vulture. They called me that on account of being able to smell out crypts and snatch the best before anyone else knew it was in there. Spent most of my time picking at dead bodies. Why do you ask? Well, Quint was looking for you, Gris. He said you had something of his. Quint's charm? If that stuffing-filled, pox-ridden whoreson sent you down here for that, you're in the wrong place, Burke. That thing's back in the buried village. Yeah, but where is it? Burke, if I wasn't dead, you can bet you'd never be dragging that chant from me, but... He pauses, philosophically. But since I'm a deader now, I'll tell you. It's buried in the refuse on the left of Marta the Corpse Ripper's house. You ain't averse to digging in refuse, I hope. I'll find it.
Updated my journal.
Tell me about yourself. Some questions. What happened to you anyway? They're dead. I had some other questions. Tell me about these catacombs. Alright, this isn't helpful. Okay, later. So we know where his charm is. We can go back to the buried village and deal with that. Now, let's go ahead and end this episode. Next episode, we will go into the drowned nations and find this endless decanter of water that everyone's telling us so much about. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Getting back to a little Planescape Torment after a long hiatus. I'll have a couple of episodes. I should, be releasing it relatively steadily now. So if you like this, then please hit the thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to my channel. If you're not going to do either of those things, then, of course, I don't care what you do.